Welcome back to Grammar Grade 9. This is Unit 12, Lesson 90, and today we're going to pick up a skill that quietly powers all of your reading, figuring out a word's meaning from its context. You won't always have a dictionary handy, but you will almost always have the sentence around the word. And that sentence, it turns out, is usually full of clues. Let's learn how to read them. Here's the whole lesson in one idea. When you meet a word you don't know, don't panic and don't reach for the dictionary just yet. Look at the words around it. Those surrounding words and sentences are what we call the context. And more often than you'd expect, the context quietly hands you the meaning. So hold on to this. Let the neighbors of a word tell you what it means. Everything else today is simply a way of noticing how they do it. Let's start with the most generous clue of all, the definition clue. Sometimes the writer simply defines the hard word for you, right there in the sentence, often between commas. Watch. A lexicon, or a dictionary of a language, sat open on her desk. Even if you had never met the word lexicon, that phrase between the commas, or a dictionary of a language, restates the meaning outright. Signals like or, that is, and which means, are your flag that a definition is on the way. When you spot one, the sentence is practically doing the work for you. Next comes the synonym clue. Here, the writer sets your hard word right beside a familiar one that means nearly the same thing. Listen. The lecture felt interminable. It seemed endless, and we grew restless. Maybe interminable is new to you, but endless is sitting right there next to it, and endless is a synonym. The writer has quietly paired the difficult word with an easy one. So when a strange word shows up shoulder to shoulder with a word you already know, let that familiar synonym carry the meaning across. Now a clue that works by opposites, the contrast clue. Instead of telling you what the word means, the sentence tells you what it does not mean. Watch for signal words like unlike, but, and however. First, unlike his cheerful brother, Marcus felt morose. That little word unlike signals a contrast, so morose must be the opposite of cheerful, which points you straight to gloomy. Here's another. The trail looked safe, but the ridge was treacherous. The word but flips the meaning. Treacherous is the opposite of safe, so it must mean dangerous. When you see unlike, but, or however, expect the meaning to swing the other way. The fourth clue gives you examples. Sometimes a writer follows an unfamiliar word with one or two familiar cases, introduced by phrases like such as, for instance, or including. Here, nocturnal creatures, such as owls and bats, hunt after the sun goes down. You might not know nocturnal on its own, but owls and bats are the examples, and you know those animals come out at night. From the examples, you can gather that nocturnal means active in the dark. Let the familiar examples add up to the meaning of the word they illustrate. Our last clue is the quietest one, because there's no signal word at all. Sometimes you have to gather meaning from the whole passage, the general sense of everything around the word. Look. Nadia stayed sanguine about the show. She smiled and swore it would be a hit. No or, no such as, no but. But the whole sentence, her smile, her confidence, points you toward hopeful. And here's the move that seals it. Test your guess by swapping it in. Reread the sentence with your guessed meaning in place of the word. Nadia stayed hopeful about the show. Does that fit? It does. If your guess reads smoothly and keeps the sentence's sense, You very likely got it right. Time to practice. In this first set, I'll read you a sentence with an unfamiliar word, and you decide what kind of context clue is at work, or what the word must mean. Look for the signal words. Pause the video and choose before I reveal each answer. A cartographer, or a maker of maps, needs patience. What kind of context clue is that? The little word or introduces a restatement, a maker of maps, that defines the term for us. So this is a definition clue. Unlike the placid lake, the rapids were violent. What does placid most likely mean? The signal word unlike tells us placid is the opposite of the violent rapids, and the opposite of violent is calm. So placid means calm. Citrus fruits, such as lemons and limes, are tart. Which clue is doing the work here? The phrase such as introduces examples, lemons and limes, that show what citrus fruits are. So this is an example clue. Nice work. This second set mixes in synonyms, more contrasts, and one where you'll have to read the whole scene. Same idea. Listen for the clue, decide what the word means, and pause before I reveal each answer. The old map was archaic. It looked just as outdated as the castle. What does archaic mean? The writer set a synonym right beside it, outdated. When a familiar synonym sits next to the hard word, it carries the meaning. So archaic means outdated. Ravi is usually frugal. However, on vacation, he spent lavishly. What does frugal most likely mean? The word however flags a contrast with spending lavishly. The opposite of spending freely is being careful with money. So frugal means careful with money. After winning, the whole team was jubilant, cheering and hugging. What does jubilant mean? There's no signal word, so use the whole scene. A win, cheering, hugging. That paints someone joyful. Swap it in. The team was joyful. It fits. So jubilant means joyful. Let's gather up what we learned. When you meet an unfamiliar word, the context, the words and sentences around it, is often quietly offering you its meaning. You saw 4 kinds of clues: a definition that restates the word, a synonym placed right beside it, a contrast that points to the opposite, and an example that shows a familiar case. Signal words are your guides, or, that is, and, which means for definitions, such as, and, for instance, for examples, but, unlike, and however for contrasts. And when there's no signal at all, read the whole passage and then test your best guess by substituting it back in. Do that, and a strange new word rarely has to stop you. Nice work. I'll see you in the next lesson.